book goes through not just the presidency, the campaign, your family, and your life. Save America. A horrendous day. You were almost murdered.
Yeah.
6-7 weeks ago. 6-7 weeks ago. For the media, it's like it never happened. I'm curious about this. Did George W. Bush ever send you a note or ever call you or anything of that sort?
You know, I've gotten so many, I don't know.
Yeah.
Not much of one.
So it's possible.
I hated that he got us into the Middle East. I just hated it. We spent $9 trillion, blew the hell out of the place, and we left. There's never anything, you know, in the old days, to the victor belong the spoils. I used to say, but I was a civilian, so who's going to listen? But I'd say, don't go into Iraq, don't do it. But if you are, keep the oil. So Iraq has hundreds of billions of dollars worth of oil right now. We spent a fortune with Saddam Hussein and all of the things we did. Should have never gone in. We decapitated the enemy of Iran. Now Iran essentially, it's like a subsidiary of Iran, but they have hundreds of billions of dollars. 4 years ago, Iran had no money. They had no money for any of these terrorist organizations. So they had no money so they could attack Israel. Now they have a lot of money. Iran has almost $300 billion. They've got Iraq that has almost $300 billion. It's a lot of money. And they made it in 3.5 years. Iran made all this money in 3.5 years. People couldn't buy oil from them. They weren't allowed by me. And I'm not looking to be enemies with Iran. I'd love to get along with them, great, but they can't have a nuclear weapon. Just can't let them have a nuclear weapon. I'll say this, if they do have a nuclear weapon, Israel is gone. It'll be gone. Israel is under tremendous pressure right now. It's amazing. If you go back 15 years or even less, the strongest lobby in that sense in the United States was Israel. You couldn't say a thing about Israel, Christian or Jew. You couldn't say anything about today. It's like under siege. You look at AOC +3, you look at these people, the way they talk about it, and then you see Schumer, who's become a Palestinian, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, he's actually become like a Hamas agent. Schumer, how did that happen?
Let me ask you about that. You see the outbreak of anti-Semitism in our streets.
Yep.
That wasn't happening when you were president, but
it didn't happen when I was president.
But you signed an executive order extending the Civil Rights Act to cover Jewish students and their free speech, which Jewish students are using now to defend themselves in these Ivy League colleges. You see what's going on the streets. Do you think this administration, you know, they give a speech here and there. Do you think they've done enough to fight this? Because colleges are opening now and they're saying it's going to happen again and it's going to get worse and people are running for their lives and they're hiding and so forth. When you see that, what do you think?
Well, it's getting worse. I just see Cornell is a hotbed right now. Today, all of what's happening up there. So right now, it's a little bit early, but as colleges are starting to open, Cornell was the occasion, it looks like it's worse than ever. And they don't respect this administration. It's very simple. You know, the power that you have with all of the endowments and everything else, the big tax breaks that they get, you have tremendous powers. But the heads of these schools seem like either they're weak and pathetic or they're sort of Marxists themselves, fascist Marxists. One of the professors was on from Cornell today, and he was talking about how the head people at the school are almost encouraging the students to destroy the place. It was actually an amazing statement. You think, you know, I could see them cowering in a corner, but I can't see that they're actually helping it. And it's shocking when you look at Columbia from last year, but it looks like it's going to get very bad, actually. It looks like it's going to get very bad. It's a little bit early yet. The season's just beginning. Schools are starting to open up. Most of them haven't opened yet, but the ones that have, it's nasty. It's nasty, and the government does nothing about it.
Would you consider federal funds that go into these schools?
Yeah, you have tremendous power over those schools.
It seems to me we blackmail institutions all the time with federal funds. The Democrats do too, but not here. They just seem to have wide berth to go for it.
Well, also speech. I mean, you're not allowed to, if you're Jewish and talking about a positive Jewish event, or whoever you may be, or if you're conservative even, you can't, they won't let you speak. So I wrote out an order, a very strong order, and everybody went and spoke. But that doesn't mean they love it. We put a big order that they have to pay massive penalties if they don't let conservatives speak. Mm-hmm. We did a lot for Jewish people because we were able to, we were able to turn that tide, but now it's turning back, and Biden does nothing. How a Jewish person can vote for a Democrat, but specifically somebody like Kamala, she wouldn't even meet with Bibi when he was, look, he came over, he's the prime minister of Israel. He's in a war. We're heavily invested in that war. People are dying. October 7th was a horrific day, just horrific. And now you see people that are picketing, they're saying no such thing ever happened. They did that with the Holocaust, too. They said there was no Holocaust. But this one was right next to us because we saw it. We saw it. You saw it. Everybody saw it. They saw it. I don't imagine they aren't thinking straight. They must know it happened. But they are, I think, they're interviewing people that are rioting. What about October 7th? It never happened. Now, either they're conning us or they really believe it never happened, and that's maybe worse. But what's happened is amazing. What's happened to our country is amazing. We had a country, 4 years ago, we were respected as a country. We're not respected anymore. So many bad decisions. The worst in terms of prestige was Afghanistan. It was handled so badly. I'm convinced Putin would have never gone in if I were president. But even with Biden as president, if he didn't do the Afghan and not getting out, I was getting out. I would have been out faster than him. I'm the one that prepared to get out, but I would have kept Bagram, the big Air Force base, which is 1 hour from where China makes its nuclear weapons. It's a massive base that we built many years ago with billions and billions of dollars. Runways that are the most powerful anywhere in the world. They can carry more cargo than any other runway. The massive, thick concrete goes down to almost China, which is right next door. But big, heavy slab concrete runways. You almost couldn't build something like that today. We walked away, and one day it's gone, and China now occupies it. We were 1 hour away from where they make their nuclear weapons. So I was getting out, but we're going to get out with dignity and strength. And for 14 months, 18 months, we had nobody killed. They were killing, and I spoke to Abdul, the leader, and they didn't kill after that. They'd never killed. They were sniping, we had the snipers, and they were knocking off our guys, a lot of them during the Obama years. And I spoke to him, I said, don't do it, just don't do it. When Putin saw Afghanistan, I think, you've heard that, that's a theory, but he saw such weakness, and he said, wow, that's not the country that I thought it was. And I think if you didn't have Afghanistan, possibly he wouldn't have gone in.